Hello, hello, welcome. Let me see here. Let me get the notifications going. So this is all Unify. There's so much to show you guys today. Hope you're doing well. I have this door has to stay open because it's 87 degrees today later, and it's warm in here already. So not the usual where I have it closed up. So let me get these going. So I have a notification. Hello, by the way, I'm John Limcool. Hands together, head bowed. Thank you so much for joining. It's a Mother's Day weekend. I'm starting today's live stream early, and I'm gonna actually wrap up maybe a little earlier than usual, just because today's also my girlfriend's birthday. So Mother's Day on Sunday. Today is Melanie's birthday. So happy birthday, Melanie, wherever you are. I made breakfast for her today. It was really nice. She might come up and say hi. We'll see. She's doing some errands right now, but she might be back in a bit. Hello to Marco in Finland and all of you. Welcome. Had to click the play button to hear. Good sound. Good. I'm glad you hear the sound. Hey, Insole Productions. Good to see you. Doing great. Doing really great. No way. James, it's your birthday too? That's too cool. All right, so I got it. Something I got it on the Facebook page too. I want to let them know that I'm live. So go over here. That bass, I gotta show you this bass. It's really cool. I made it last night. Let's see here. Go to the Plug and Guru page and say we're doing a live stream right now. Live stream on YouTube happening right now. There we go. And of course, it has an old thumbnail. Facebook, I've updated the thumbnail and everything, and they still don't get it. Happy birthday, James. Yeah. Has anybody tried anything freaky, like multiple instances of Unify at once? Well, this is using 3 Unify, and then 2 Unify inside of itself to play this one patch. And I have a reveal or two. There's a reverb to show you that I believe. Let me go to the page. It's an okay reverb. I don't think it's a €129 reverb compared to what else is out there. Valhalla smokes it. I think the reverbs that I'll give you a comparison with the reverbs coming in Unify 1.1. I think they have better stereo depth and feeling. But it's really cool in the fact that it, more verb. Let me put in the link because you have 5 hours and 55 minutes left at this crazy €19 price, which for that price, it's really good deal. Morph, verb, 6 hours left at intro discount price. So here is the link. It's only 6 hours left at this price, and then apparently it goes to the more expensive price. So there's that. There's also, let me find the link for you guys can start looking at this and downloading these. These are things I'll show you in a bit. There's this free, let's see here. It's right here. Has to go to Gmail. Journeyman Music, this guy he's actually made quite a few different sample libraries that are actually really nice. And by sending an email to here, how do you rescan Unify after new purchase? You click the little lightning bolt right here. Or, I'll show you, there's a couple other short ones. Option, click the little dot right here. Oh, it doesn't do it anymore. It used to be that holding down Option right there would... oh, that's now turning on and off the CPU meters. Okay. You also have a rescan in settings for right here for the patch database. You can rebuild it now from here, and it will do it as well. So that's how you rescan the database to get that working. Hello, Mock. Good guys, welcome. It's usually, and when you buy a new purchase, we have a process. Yes, Shane says of automatically. It does should do a library rescan. If it doesn't, that's what the lightning bolt up here in the corner is for. So last week, where we left Unify off last, me and my high quality English here. Let me find the. Let's see here. I think I have. Let's just find the single by itself of Unify right here. There's so much to show you guys that's going on. It's really cool. So last week, where is it? There it is. This is what MIDI box looked like last week. Right? A little bit on the plain side. This is what it looks like this week. We've updated the graphics, and we're going to be doing this also for Polybox, Jitterbox, maybe for Pump House, some other of our effects. Eventually, all of the effects in our that we've made, Omega Verb or Omega Delay. We don't have an Omega Verb, doesn't exist. Noise Box will all have updated graphics. But we have received from Matt Chowsky, who did the artwork for all the libraries that you see for most of them at my website for the last 5 years or so. He got us an updated look for MIDI box, which is really cool. So yeah, it's a cool color. We also have, just so I can show you guys in the works, the cool backgrounds for here's Polybox will be purple. Jitterbox will be a cool orange like this with the stuff in the background. We'll be implementing those and other things into the interface to make them super cool. Make sure that everything is good on the screen. I'm over checking OBS really quick. So let's go OBS. And this can shrink stuff so I can resize this. So I had, before we get to the reverb and to the, I should give you the link to basic. I went to the page, but I didn't give you the link. So here's the link. For basic, you have to give him an email address. And sorry for the lawnmower guy outside, but David, I tried to reply to you and email was refused. It's like your mailbox is full or something. So please check that out for David Coffin. So I have been trying for a while. So one thing about this groove that's going on, it has this bass patch, which is right here, solid steel. And it's I have a MIDI file that you can turn on. Right? And it's playing a MIDI file, just a simple bum, 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 bum. Right? I'm going to show you how to make that polyphonic. This is really cool. So Synchro Bass Pulse is the name of it. Let's go to a tongue drum patch. Let's say the 4 velocity muted. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say add, let's see, let's do just a 1 layer. So let's hold down Option when we click init, so it only keeps the first layer, and let's get our parameter set so it's, and I maybe want to use this. Let's call up MIDI box. We go over here and we say add MIDI box, and we go to Cloud City. And now it goes to the MIDI file that it finds the folder in Cloud City automatically, which is really cool now. Go to bass, and right here, Synchro Bass Pulse, and we say we want gate, and we want it to transpose. So when I play a note, right? This is something Dune 3, a lot of different synthesizers can do this. It will play a MIDI file. If you make that MIDI file have chords, it will play chords. But if I'm here on the keyboard and I play a chord, it's only playing one note. Nobody has done this yet, so this is the first. Because we have Polybox, so I can go up here to MIDI effects, give ourselves a Polybox 8 layers, and then I connect this to Polybox, and I set this to MIDI channel 1, and check this out. This is so cool. All I have to do is go over here and say make 7 more with the next MIDI channel. That's the trick to get polyphonic from a monophonic synth. Well, it also works for monophonic MIDI files. So if I say next 7, it now has made 8, and I play chords. I'm playing polyphonic MIDI files publicly for the first time. And I could make it up to 16 notes of polyphony, which is cool. If I wanted to, let's hold down Option and get back to the first, just one by itself. And let's add jitterbox to this too. So we go Creative, add jitterbox. The fun thing with this is by doing it this way, I can say quarter notes, or actually no, we want to keep it straight up to start, like this and off. And then I can do this where I say make 7 again. And now I have jitterbox available on all these layers. So I can, and check this out. This is where it gets insane, because each layer is responsible for one note of polyphony in that chord. So I could go to each of these MIDI boxes now, and I could say play some of these double time. Let's just say 3 of them we're going to set to double time. Let's say double time, half time for 2. And let's see, so I have this one at normal, this one at halftime, this one at double time. So I have some at double, some at half, some at normal. So now now this MIDI file doesn't work so well for that. So let's go Option and click Init and choose a different MIDI file. So I could go over here and say choose a different MIDI file. Let's go to the chords. I have some really cool chord things in. It's actually melody and motifs for these polychord things. Like number 6 is super simple. So this is hello. How simple is that? Oh, it's Polybox is on. So bypass Polybox. So it's playing quarter notes, right? So let's go over here and let's say make 7 again of this. So I have, and then turn on Polybox. And now let's take 2 of them and let's say halftime. And it does this stuck MIDI note thing sometimes. We're working on stuff like that. We're still in beta, and double time for this one. So I have a couple that are normal time and halftime. So now as I'm playing, now it gets even deeper down the rabbit hole, because with jitterbox we could set random timing on some of these to be like a quarter note, full range, and I want it to be random of simple notes, and the minimum time value to be 16th notes. So it won't play 32nd or 64th notes. And let's say we copy that setting, right? We have this setting, so we go over here and we say, close this bullet right here, say copy settings, and let's paste those settings into one more jitterbox. Paste settings. So we have a couple now that are going to be doing these random. So we're getting random timing on a couple notes. Oops. That will happen. It's just, we're still in, this is why we haven't released it publicly yet. So we're still working on some of these things that are a little bit oopsie. And MIDI files and jitterbox and all this stuff can get really complicated. But you saw the possibility. Playing chords and stuff with MIDI files is super fun. Here is a couple patches that I have created doing this exact same thing. BPM chords or pads, they're right here. It first started where I wanted just to play chords that were slow. Was doing octaves that was in the MIDI file. You got to realize what's cool with this, with the way Unify works, is that each of these layers is a separate sound from Unify. It could be any plugin that you own playing that note. So I could go to a couple of these notes. It's going to mess up. But if I go over here and I say copy the plugin settings for MIDI box, and then I change this to a different layer preset. Let's just change two of these. Let's say we use like Battleborn, which is really obvious when it pops on. And we go MIDI box, and then we go right here and we say paste settings. So that's there. And we can go to the sound of it. See where this can go? It's very cool. We could go to this one here and replace this, and then actually we're going to do something even trickier. So let's go layer preset, replace from Guru Sampler. Let's do Sign Heaven for this one. Call up MIDI box and paste the settings once again. And now we have a sine wave and Battleborn. So those types of possibilities are really cool. And then I started getting into one that played. I made this MIDI file, right? That's a MIDI file playing. And what's fun with this concept, so, yes, arpeggiators can do this kind of stuff, but what's fun is now I could go to each of these parts and I could choose different arpeggiator patterns in this kind of, I've got a whole bunch, and I'll make a whole bunch more polychords, as I call them, that are playing different things. So let's call up each layer to be a different polychord pattern. Like let's say 5 for this one. So I've got, let's see, open this one, say have you be polychord 1. So now I have all of these different. So you can make it so they're not all playing the same MIDI file. They could each be a completely different MIDI file that still lets you play it as chords. Now these complex ones get far more complex because I started doing things with jitterbox. Complex 2 is even more insane because now it's starting to call up different sounds. And what's fun, we added a new mode. Let's go back to the simple one that's playing just a simple. Let me slow down my tempo a little bit. Now, if I wanted to like halftime the whole thing, hold down Option and click Init. That's the shortcut to get rid of everything except the first poly box, because then I could go to the MIDI box and I could say, let's go to halftime. And now I just got to go over here and say, make 7 of this. So instead of having to edit 8 layers, I can just do that. Now it's halftime. So I can speed back up my tempo. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this into the buffer. Logic has a cool buffer on its plugin. So I want to show you some of the new things that we've been doing are things like BPM perk. I have all these like simple shaker grooves. And as you can hear, when I play up the keyboard and down the keyboard, it transposes, which is cool when you just want to playing a shaker part by itself. But we have this new ability to load patches seamlessly. We're not totally seamless yet, but we're getting there, where we can go to, let's go back to paste to get our simple groove at halftime. And I talked to Shane and we came up with this new mode that works where I could go to the shakers. You can right click, and we added one more option, because normally in last week I showed you how you could load any layer. So we could go to any patch and say load as layers into Unify, or load into Unify as a separate Unify. Well, because of all this percussion, I said I need something where I can say load into Unify a layer that's just Unify, and it will go through all of the MIDI boxes and turn off transpose. So that's what this does, because those shakers that are playing across the keyboard and changing pitch, now by using this option, by using this option, I have to probably go to the MIDI file and it should just play. What happened? Let's investigate. Yeah, the course is off. So if I set this to 0, I don't know if it was saved that way or not, but these should all be 0. So now when I play, and I could go over here to, I've got these drum grooves, right? These drum grooves like this, and I could say right click, and normally it transposes, and if I use this, it won't transpose, so I have. So it's a really cool way to be able to load the rhythm things, because normally when you call up MIDI box 1 groove, it's all across the keyboard, right? I don't want that. I want it so I could be playing something like the simple, well, here, let's go back and paste our normal halftime feel. That's actually, I'm going to say that because that's how I wanted it to be called up. And now I can go to any of these grooves up here, and I can right click and say add this with no transpose, and you see that we have shortcut keys to do it. And I could go down here to the bass. I could say add this as its own, and let's just load it as a layers. So go load into layers and turn on MIDI box for this bass part right here. Oh, no, I can't do it that way because it's using a trick where I'm sending one MIDI file to a whole bunch of layers, because I just wanted one MIDI file. So I'd actually go over here and I would say load this as a new Unify, and now it will have the bass. And then turn on the MIDI file. And let's take this Unify and limit it so it plays only to here. And now we have. So the ability to combine things really quickly is super fun. And it's gonna be one of those stuck ones that won't remember. So if I say copy and paste, there. That's a shortcut to. So we can grow these in some really cool new ways with all the patches that are being made. So it's really exciting times. So I hope that gets you guys excited. I'm going to check the chat because I haven't looked over here in a bit. Possibility to add cool bass lines also. Yeah, so. And if you don't like that and you want to use a different MIDI file, just open up the bass MIDI box and go to here, and there's a whole lot of other basses. So I could say 16th notes. And if I could go here, I can go halftime. I can say, no, I want another one. So there's octaves. Let's go normal time. I'll need to make some more patterns. There'll be but what's fun is this. I could go to Logic and I could say record. And let's see, let's turn off MIDI box for a second. Check this out. So let's solo just this Unify layer so that we don't hear everything else. And I go. So I made a MIDI file just by playing that. All I have to do now is I'm going to name it. So I'm going to call this dance motif and bass. So I know what it is. Copy, export this as a MIDI file to the desktop. And now all I have to do is I'm going to drag this into the Unify folder right here. Let me show you how we do this. So if I go to Unify, right, here's the Cloud City library, and Cloud City now has a MIDI files folder. And then we go to bass, and I'm going to put dance motif bass in here. Now all I have to do is go to this Unify and say unpause MIDI box and go to this list, and here's dance bass motif. I didn't quantize it, did I? Let's fix that real quick. So go back here, Command 1. Let's say Command, just Q and export, paste, and I could actually probably go to bass because I've been in there. Save, replace. Now let's reload it, and it will be quantized. So go over here. I messed up my time a little bit. That's kind of cool that way. But it's that easy to make a sequence and shoot it into Unify. And use it. So it's going to open up all sorts of really fun doors for you guys to have MIDI files. And then we could go in here to this. If we want to get really carried away for a second. Go to Creative Jitterbox. We might crash again. This is the area where we are trying to solve some of our crashing issues. Let's keep timing where it is so it's not going to mess up the timing. And let's turn on random pitch. But let's have it only within a certain range. So we're going to say from C1. Oh, it works now. Up to G. Right on, Shane. And let's have it only like 20% of the time. So now, let's have it delayed at halftime. And let's have it do random timings, simple notes, only up to 8th notes. So it won't go below 8th notes. So we have a little random pitch and a whole different timing. So you can randomize the timing and the pitch of MIDI files. It's crazy. It's totally nuts what we are doing here. So this bass line will never be the same. If you listen, the timing is randomly changing and the melody is randomly changing. If that's not cool, I don't know what else to try to sell you, right? I mean, it's just crazy stuff. So that is where we are with Unify. We're working on, our beta team is working with us to figure out these random bugs. As you can see, we're pretty stable, so it's not crashing like all the time. We're getting there. We're getting really close. On top of this last week, I did a recording session at my house. I added some new sounds to Cloud City. There's now a kalimba. I also added, I wanted some maracas, and so I have my black plastic maracas, both as these cool hit things for snare fun, as well as shaker, you know, shakes and all that kind of stuff. I also recorded some other things, including, what else was there that I recorded? Oh, the rosewood clave. I wanted a clave because I'm going to do some Latin patterns and stuff like that. So rosewood clave. I even played it with different tunings by just clamping it harder when you play it. I also made another drum kit. So there is going to be a fourth drum kit. There's the World Percussion, which all new samples of percussion. There's my hip kit, which is a hip skit kit, which is a cool hip hop. I think I have a MIDI file in here. It can go from this to, if we go out to the single grooves, we've got some good trap and stuff in here, and there will be more of these being made, but stuff like this. I'm getting some grooves, but Chaos made a really cool really hard-hitting hip-hop kit. And then I did Down Tempo Thrilla, which is a of course I gotta be faster in my tempo. So there's a down tempo kit. There's a whole lot of really cool drum sounds. I made all new kicks and snares. So there'll be tons of drum grooves for supporting these new kits and samples. Really exciting stuff. This library will be coming out when Unify 1.1 is released. And so it will be a great complement to give you a boatload of MIDI files and grooves and samples to make grooves with, as well as the tongue drums, kalimbas, the vocal chops, the Sunny playing flute, which is really beautiful. There's all these really cool... In fact, I have a couple demos. DJ Henke posted this morning to me some really cool. Check these out. I'll play just a couple seconds of these. These are just Cloud City and Unify patches, but it's all just it's all Unify playing this. So check this out. I'm going to fast forward ahead. The pan flute's part of the factory voicing. That's the new drum kit. That's one of the opera vocal chops. Isn't that cool? That was very fun. So those are coming. That library is going to be super cool. It takes Unify from sounding, which the factory sounds really cool, and I'm really happy with it, but we've definitely upgraded so much in the sonics. So you can go from these are super cool, but go from this vibe to loading up something which does this kind of stuff. The BPM pads, like I was showing you, there's so many beautiful pads. I think I have one here that has this is really cool. So that's coming along very, very nicely. It's really cool what's happening there. Let's move on to, let me see if there's any questions in the chat. Sunny on flute in the house. Yeah. So if I say Sunny up here, right here, here's his flute phrases. Like this is worth the library all by itself, if you ask me. And we have just this is the start. I'm going to be doing sessions with Sunny in the future for another Just Sunny flute library, but there's a start of one of his flutes. And then I have the phrases, they will be all. So you can use them across the keyboard. For each of the phrases will be pulled out. Really super cool stuff. And he did his piano too. Let's use this to show off the new Reverb that came out, that for 4.5 more hours or so is available. Let's do it this way. Let's get rid of these auxiliary buses. Let's add a new auxiliary bus of reverb from, let's say, just a nice natural strings. This is from Dragonfly. Okay, let's mute this and make another auxiliary bus and make it this new, it's called Morph. Let's see, what do I got? I did the wrong thing, not a layer. I need to say new auxiliary bus, empty. So the website that I had sent you to that has this reverb is called United Plugins. They have a number of different companies that they're representing. This is a company known as Muramasa. So when you're looking for it, it's not under the United Plugins, which is the website that you go to. Instead, it's under M for Muramasa. Here it is, Morph. And what this has that's unique is it looks kind of like a washer and dryer set, you know. You can make it 2D, which gets rid of the gloss, changes the buttons. But you can spin this to morph through different, they have echoes, ambience, spring, plate, chamber, hall, cathedral, and infinite. So while you're playing it, and I want to have the mix set to 100%, and I'm going to lock it because I am, as an auxiliary bus, so I want it only to be that way. So let's set it to hall. If we want, we could go to the presets to hall. And let's say we go to a nice piano large. One thing that they have that's cool is this ducking. which is like a slow compressor on the reverb so that it can... that type of thing. Let's turn that off because I want you to hear the comparison between the Morph Verb and then Dragonfly Reverb for Hall, okay? This is at -10, so let's set this to -10. Okay, that's Morph Verb. Here's Dragonfly. It sounds so much more like a real space. Do that same thing with Morph Verb. It doesn't have that definition. It's got this... and it does have all sorts of different parameters. It's got this real-time spectrogram. So you can open up the frequency of the reverb. It has compression, saturation, modulation. You can turn these down to get probably more natural. Brighter tone. It still just has this really kind of a thick thing to the sound that isn't really my cup of tea. Same thing from Dragonfly Hall. And we could make Dragonfly longer. So this is free reverb coming in 1.1 of Unify. This is €129 reverb that you can buy for €20 right now. Can you hear a difference? I hear a difference. One thing that it can do that's cool is while you're playing, and the spring is horrible. If you want a good spring reverb, get something like Twangstrom from Yuhi, or actually also the guys from let's see, do I have Yuhi's Twangstrom? This. Let's see, mute this. This has a great spring. Go mix. Hear that spring? Plus all the other stuff you can do. I need to hear really good spring. Well, it sounds best default setting. But you hear that spring kind of... I didn't hear any of that type of a... I like to hear that kind of thing. If it says spring, right? That's vintage. This is just like a delay verb type of... It's not bad, but it's not a spring to me. Size. But the ability to morph the infinite. It's nice, but it still has this really big buildup of that mid-frequency content. It doesn't have this openness to it. Compare that to, let's have Dragonfly Reverb then go into the truly, I love this reverb, set to like 98%, about 45%. Okay, so this is Dragonfly, and let's make it even longer so that we're going for kind of the infinite vibe here. Compare this to this. It's like, I'll take that, thank you. Hear how much more open it is? There's not this buildup in the mid frequencies in the middle of the stereo imaging. Just beautiful, just keeps going out. So, Just alone though, for the amount of work for this interface and for the morphing of the reverb, it's definitely worth 20 euros. It sounds okay on drums to get kind of that. Sometimes you want that kind of mid blocky reverb thing to take the drums and give them more presence. So I can definitely see it having applications and uses, but it's just really interesting to me. Keith is asking, Unify is now really loaded. Any video tutorials on the horizon? Absolutely. I will not release 1.1 without videos showing how to use the features from basic. Here's an overview of what's new, because there is so much that's new. It's just really cool. So yes, there will be definitely videos coming. For sure. That's a guarantee. It would cut through a dense mix. Yes. Although just be aware it's going to add to that dense mix. So its stereo width didn't do as much as I would like to try to like push. Usually when you use width, you want it to push stuff. It's not bad. And the saturation and the compression is nice. If we were to call up Drum Groove or something like that and use that, it sounds really nice, that kind of stuff. Let's see, drum kit. Let's say we use the down tempo Thriller kit, and let's make a pattern. So we say, okay, so we have, there's a cool groove playing, and let's turn it up a little bit. Let's just call it up on the actual plugin itself. So we go Miramasa. Then you have controls here for the high frequency dampening. Then here's a low pass filter. High pass filter. So it has a cool presence to it. It has an A-B, so you can choose a B setting. Have really heavy ducking. And you can go between the two. Right? So you could have two different settings that I think you can automate. Hear how the springs just get, I just don't hear any coil to the springs, so it's kind of interesting. But it's interesting. It's an interesting sound that you can use. Here's some of the presets they have. Say we go to the ambiances. Here's again where I would go over here and hit the lock button, so I can lock the mix. That's a very nice feature, I must admit. Every reverb should have a lock, so you can set the presets, mix it you want for what you're going to use it for, and then cycle through them, right? Chamber. Right? So that's Reverb. And like I said, it is still available at an introductory super silly discount price of 20 euros. And then I believe it's what, in 5 hours, 9 minutes, it goes to 149 euro. So it's one of those no-brainers right now, but this is where I just wish people would, with Unify, I could easily have it be $149 or $199 for, it's got 10 reverbs, it's got MIDI file playback that's now polyphonic, loads all of your plugins, super powerful utility for all of your plugins. It could easily be more expensive, but it's $79, and then I'm just not going to discount it, so I don't have to do this. Like, people can do their promotion stuff that way if they want, but what happens to the people that buy this tomorrow for $149 and they watch this video and go, oh my god, it was 19 euro yesterday and today it's 149 euro. That's just, it's not fair. So one price, leave it at that price is my philosophy. And that's what we're doing. Now, the other thing to show you, and I will tell you, I have emailed this gentleman to request if it's okay for me to make this as a bonus library for Unify. Because he gives you the wave sounds and even talks in this video about he likes when things get ported to other samplers. So I don't think it will be a problem. Here's the link again for the Journeyman music. Check out his music too. He's a nice musician, stuff like that. Let's see here. Let me show you what this is. It's a contact library. He says in the video that one of his go-to synths, I think it's the Juno 60 or something like that. There's one sound that's his go-to. So he used hardware synthesizers and software synthesizers, I believe. Or maybe it's all just, let's see, go to my favorites, to contact. Maybe it's just, I think hardware. He mentions in the waveforms what was used to create the different sounds. It's called basic because they're basic sounds, and then you have a mixer to bring up 10 different sounds. It's not bad. And it has the sound, which is very basic. And as you bring up more, but they're not looped. See, they all stop after a while. So if I release this for Unify, I will loop them. That's the sound when all the waveforms are on. He has very slow moving ADSRs for making. This is one of those where I don't like the curvature in its envelope, so you'd go down here and you'd modify this curve to make it a little bit. Yeah, it's just there's not enough, and that's all it does basically, but they're nice sounds. There is reverb and flange and a driver. If you make it darker, it's like this is the sound that he wanted, then he opened the filters up. Right? Which is almost a mistake. Let me show you real quickly Mega Magic pads, because let's see, do I have it here? A lot of these sounds that I did, I kept them dark because there's something, yes, about recording an instrument with its filters records the character of that filter. What he did was he got the sounds that he liked and opened the filter up, which lost all that character, and now you're relying on Contact's filter, which is not a, it's okay, but it's not the same as what you would have in the synthesizers. So I love recording things with the sound of those filters where you want them. It doesn't get brighter than that. Right? And then you can have the really bright stuff and you really optimize. You know, this is what it sounds like without any filtering or anything. I like the quality of this filter that I had set up inside of Contact, just parameter wise. Better than the basic filter that's here. I'm not sure what setting he was using, but this. You can tell a difference, right? But anyway, it's free. It's 500 megabytes or so for the samples. And again, I have a note in requesting if I can put these into Unify and make it a bonus library for you guys. And if so, it would be pretty cool. Level's a bit hot. Oh, sorry. I'll turn this down just a little bit. Is the levels hot everywhere? Oh, testing. Is there a link? Yeah, it's for the reverb is Morpherb. Here's the link for the reverb. Copy, paste. Yeah, once you've played with other things and then you go back to Contact, you start realizing it's kind of a Swiss Army knife, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of what happens in Contact myself. I think we have far better filters in Unify. We can go to 48 dB and the slope is beautiful. They can do really amazing things with sample manipulation. The legato melody stuff and all that is really great. Oh, good, Bruce. Oh, by the way, I should tell you guys, I'm having a little sale at the website. It's not heavily broadcast. I'll probably put a little banner up for the weekend since it's Mother's Day and everybody needs to get a present for your mom. There's nothing like synthesizer patches to make a mom really happy. So if you use promo code I love my mom, it will save 40% on all patch libraries. So bundles are excluded. Unify and the Unify Serum library are excluded because those are super low priced already for what they are. But everything else at the site, all the Omnisphere libraries, Serum, Zebra, Massive, FM8, the Razor libraries that I love the Razor libraries, Break Tweaker. There's this crazy deal going on where you can get Break Tweaker and Stutter Edit and all these other things for $49 now from Isotope. Oh, Clippy Skippy. I'm still clipping. Oh, let me turn the whole thing down. Sorry. It's weird to know how it sounds to you guys, so I'm sorry about that. I turned down the volume, so hopefully that sounds better. Any other questions for you guys? Is it fast to tweak around Morpherb to create your own presets? Yeah, it's not bad. Let's see. Let's go to Kit. Playing a groove. You could call up pretty easily. Go here to All Effects. Ramasa Morpherb. Oh, nice. Can you see that? Wow. Let's try it again. Open up Morpherb. Oh, that's nice. Let's see here. I haven't seen that one before. Go to Ramasa Morpherb. Wow. Okay. I think that's 1.0 on their part. I don't think there's anything in Unify that's doing anything special to cause that. Let's init and call up the kit. And let's turn off all effects there and just say load here one more time and see if it does that again. Yeah, there's something in their buffer. Let's see, go 2D. No. Okay, well, it's trying to do something weird. There it is. You know, to be honest, I guess new. So you would name your preset. Let's see. Let's say you made a preset, right? You like this. So you like that. Okay, so if you were to save this, I guess you go here, you'd say new. In Eternal Roomy. Okay, so it saved it, I guess. So you have the init. Then you have root, and so you can make your own presets, yes. You can also, if you're in Unify and you set something up, you can save a layer preset and it will save all the effects in that layer plus the instruments. Or if it's an auxiliary, for example, I've been making presets for the Dragonfly reverb. So I can go to auxiliary reverb, Dragonfly percussive hall, and now I have so you can do that and make them easy to call within Unify if you want. All right, well, this is only an hour long today because my girlfriend's birthday is today and we're getting some food and stuff together to have a little celebration. So I'm going to call it quits here in a minute. If you have any questions, pop them up. We don't announce dates for releases because we will release it when we have it where we're feeling good that we can send this to our customers and it's going to be reliable and not cause issues. Oh, another thing that I recorded this week that I love are these ankle shells. And I recorded them as long ambiances, like, actually like 2 and 1. Like this is the original pitch way up high. When you play it down low, it's super cool. And then if you add a layer preset, say we add something like Battleborn. Let's bring down the filter cutoff to start with. And then you take that ambience, right, the ankle bells, let's put them into some sort of cool reverb, like Dragon Plate or Hall is really nice. Turn this down, bring up. Then you can put a cool, like, pitchy G on this, or a, oh wait, not on this, but on the bells. Silly me. That's a cool effect. So we'll be able to do things like that. Really cool. All right, well, thank you all for joining. I'm going to do a shout out from Portland. Do your shout outs from wherever you are.
Yeah, come say hi.
Yeah, Melanie's here. Happy birthday, Melanie. Yay!
Hi, guys.
It's Melanie's birthday. Happy birthday, baby.
Thank you.
Is Cody and them here yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for everything. I think everything's still going. Wow. The news on 1.1 is we're working on it. Oh, the price for Cloud City will be $49. Yeah. It's ready when it's cooked. Exactly. Not getting your links. Oh. It's really weird. I don't know if it's because a ton of emails showed up, but it's quiet for a minute, but now it's back. So Rimrock, Holland, Norway. Big E says, happy birthday, sweet Melanie.
Thank you.
Yeah. From Essex, UK. From Port Ludlow. Good to see you, Bruce. Good to see all of you guys. Yeah, $49 for everything. I mean, it's going to have so much stuff when it's done. All these world grooves that are coming out cool. The song ideas are really fun. And to be able to take this and be able to say, oh, I want to add, by the way, we're going to have Euclidean rhythms. So I could say add this as a Unify no transpose and... So let's take this down in pitch. And maybe, let's see what... And say go, go. We can add another groove to this. No transpose. So it's very fun. And again, for the first time we're playing MIDI grooves, which is so fun. So BPM pads. Some of these get really cool. This is reflective. This is using the kalimba. So this will be coming out at the same time that we release 1.1, and we're working hard to get that done soon. Thank you to you all. Shout outs to all. Happy Mother's Day this weekend. Again, there's a 40% off at the sale at my site. I love my mom. That's the promo code to use. And get her some cool synth patches for Mother's Day. All right. So thank you all. We'll see you next week. And send an email to unifysupport@plugandguru.com if you have any questions. We're always happy to help. Okay? Bye, guys. It's good to see you. Such a fun visit. See ya.